Namaste, Vanakkam, Swagatam, Bonjour, Buongiorno, Buonasera, Buonanotte, Huya More, Boreda, Kio Ora, Salamat Pagi, Ayubovan, Ayushman Bhava. Greetings to you from Pondicherry, the land of the Siddhas. Greetings on this marvelous journey, a journey of unity through yoga. It gives me great pleasure to once again be connected with each and every one of you from all over the world in this most magnificent program, Yoga for Unity 2022. Yoga is all about unity. Yoga is all about oneness. This day, in this masterclass, I'm going to be sharing with you some thoughts about yoga. Yoga as the best lifestyle ever developed for humanity. Before I begin, I would like to invoke the great gurus of our parampara. Their illustrious, potent blessings enable us to be the best version of ourselves at all times. Tadparamparaya vidmahe Jnanalingeshwaraya dhimahi Tanno Guruh Prachodayate Om. Om Yoga Maharshi Dr. Swami Geetananda Giri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Puduvai Kalaimamani Puduvai Shakti Yogacharini Amma Ji Meenakshi Devi Bhavanani Guru Mata Ki Jai. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. When we talk about yoga, we are talking about life itself, because yoga is life. My beloved father and guru Swami Geetananda Giri used to say, yoga is a way of life. Yoga is conscious evolution, mindful transformation. It is both the path as well as the goal of human existence, where we are mindfully evolving out of the lower nature, the subhuman, into the human, growing into the humane, manifesting the divine, and finally experiencing the ultimate goal of moksha, mukti, kaivalya, nirvana. Our great rishis of Bharat, today known as India, were the original scientists, and they gave us beautiful teachings that today are called lifestyle modifications, today are called mind-body medicine, psychosomatic medicine. The rishis were mantra drishtas. They perceived the mantras, they perceived the reality through their higher state of dhyanam. And in those higher states of meditation and ecstasy, dhyana and samadhi, all these teachings were revealed to them. And in their ultimate, infinite compassion, they shared these teachings with us, laying out a path, the path of yoga that, when lived with mindfulness, would enable us to be happy and healthy. Again, Swami Geetananda Giri used to often say, if you want to be happy, do happy things. If you want to be healthy, do healthy things. Such common sense living. And yet, as we know, common sense is long dead and buried. And so people want to do unhappy things and be happy. They want to do unhealthy things and be healthy. And that is where the catch comes in everyone's life. Yoga as a lifestyle that is to be lived every moment, 24 hours a day, every day of your life. Yoga is not something you do, but something you become. something that you are in the present moment, the eternal now. The Kshana, as Maharishi Patanjali calls it. In the principles of yoga, we find that all the principles of health and wellness are found. Because yoga as a tradition doesn't have a negative definition of health, a pathogenic definition of health, but it has a positive definition, which is of a salutogenic nature. Pathogenesis is the focus on the disease, and that is the tendency in modern medical systems, where we focus on the disease and we want to eradicate the disease, we want to prevent the disease, we want to treat the disease, and we want to cure the person who has the disease. However, yoga says it is not about the disease, it is about the individual who has the disease. Because dis-ease is our moving away from our natural state of being at ease with ourselves. When we are in that state of sukham, when we are in our sukhasthanam, we are healthy. And in that state, we are the best we that we can be. But then we move away from ease, from sukham, and we move into separation, duality, dichotomy, which is then dis-ease. So, pathogenesis is focusing on the disease. It is trying to understand the disease and cure it. Salutogenesis says, well, it's not about the disease, it is about the individual. How does that individual perceive their life? How do they perceive the world in which they live? Are they at ease with the world? Is there a sense of coherence in their life, where they feel that they can understand the world, they can manage the world, and that the world has a purpose, a meaning in it? In order to manifest this salutogenic definition of health, our culture has given the term swasth. And Acharya Shushruta, 2000 plus years ago, has given that most magnificent definition. Samadosha sama agnischa samadhatu malakriya prasanna atma indriya mana swasth ityabhidiyate. Where health is understood as a dynamic state of balance, a balance of the humors, the doshas, a balance of all the metabolic fires, the agnis, a balance of all the structural components, the dhatus, and a tranquility of the mind, the tranquility of the spirit, a tranquility of all the sensory experiences, and the efficient elimination of all the waste products. Hence, if this state of health, swasth, a salutogenic aspect of health, wellness, and wholesomeness is to manifest, we need to live a life of yoga. This life of yoga is a life where 5 important principles have been brought into our culture. The first of the principles is achar. Achar means how do you live? What is your lifestyle? Are you living a healthy lifestyle or are you living an unhealthy lifestyle? Healthy lifestyle breeds health. Unhealthy lifestyle breeds disease. Common sense. Achar. Are you living in tune with the cosmic principles? We have concepts like Ritucharya, Dinacharya, Yogacharya brought into it. What is it that you are to do at different points of time? What are you to do at different points of the day? What are you to do in your life as a human being? The achar. The second is, what do you think? What type of thoughts are you feeding your consciousness? If your consciousness is constantly fed by negative thoughts, I am no good, the world is no good, I will not survive. If we have negativity, negativity breeds negativity, positivity breeds positivity. So the vichar, what type of thought patterns are you bringing into your consciousness? This is very vital when we talk about health. So what type of lifestyle activities do you have in your life? Are you in tune with nature and then you are healthy, or you are out of tune, out of sync with nature? A simple example of achar is getting up at sunrise and going to bed when it is dark, so that you are regulating your sleep-wake cycle with the natural day-night, light-dark cycle. And automatically your pineal gland with all its melatonin is going to be in a natural circadian rhythm. But if you decide to stay awake the whole night and sleep in the day, how are you going to be healthy? So Achar is in tune with nature living, Vichar having those positive healthy thought patterns. So Achar, Vichar. Then comes Ahar. What do you put into yourself as food? You put in junk, you're going to have junk. You put in healthy food, you're going to have healthy. So health depending on the adoption of a healthy diet. A diet which in yogic principles would be focused on natural, seasonal, local food. So eating food that is in tune with nature again. That which is in season. It is the mango season, enjoy the mangoes. It is apple season, enjoy the apples. But what do we want? In apple season we want mangoes, and in mango season we want apples. No wonder our food habits have become against nature. We have to eat local. That which is grown in the local soil, with the local water, it will nourish us and we become part of the local environment. We become part of nature. So food that is in tune with the season, that is found locally, that is grown organically, naturally, of course. And then again, not overeating. The Hatha Pradipika and other Hatha Yoga scriptures tell us we should fill our stomach half with food, quarter with water, and leave quarter empty for the divine. The idea is always eat less than that sense of fullness. And even that sense of fullness comes much later. So by the time we have satiety, we are already overeaten. So this is a wonderful principle. Fill half your stomach with food, half with liquids, and leave half empty for the divine. What a beautiful attitude. Again, the diet should primarily be focused on green vegetables, naturally occurring fruits, an adequate amount of hydration. And the less processed the food is, the healthier it's going to be. The more processing occurs, the more unhealthy it becomes. The more the preservatives are added, the more unhealthy it becomes. So this is the focus on achar. Achar, vichar, and ahar. Ahar is the food. Then comes, along with this, vyavahar. So achar is the food, ahar is the lifestyle, vichar is your thought pattern, vihar and vyavahar. Vihar is how do you relax? What is your idea of relaxation? What is your idea of recreation? Again, it should be something that is promoting health. So you relax with a beautiful game. You go outdoors and you play a game and you relax yourself. You read an uplifting book. You watch a movie that is uplifting. You go out for a walk. You go to the beach. You go to the river and you relax with pleasing music. You sing and you play and you have a sense of relaxation. And the parasympathetic tone, the vagal recruitment can occur. But what do we do for relaxation? People go out and get drunk. People go out and smoke. People take all sort of drugs. That is not relaxation. That is again unhealthy non-lifestyle. I won't even call it an unhealthy lifestyle. It's a non-lifestyle which will breed disease. If you're going to watch a movie that is stressful, oh my God, who's going to get killed next? You're going to play a game that is stressful. Again, the stress will come in and the healing will be retarded. Hence, what type of vihar do we have? What type of recreation and relaxation do we choose? It should be appropriate for health. And then the fifth one, vyavahar, healthy relationships. How do you relate with yourself? Intrapersonal relationships. How do you relate to others? Interpersonal relationships. How do you relate to the cosmos? Transpersonal relationships. So all of these, we have to be very mindful of the choices we make. What type of lifestyle do I choose? My ahar. What type of food do I choose? What type of vihar? What type of thoughts do I choose? What type of vyavahar relationships do I choose? Achar, Vichar, Ahar, Vihar, and Vyavahar. All these five should be in tune with the principles of health, wellness, and wholesomeness. When that happens, we are in tune with the nature, and the external nature is the same as the internal. What is above is below, what is below is above. Adija Vyadi and Vyadija Adi. As we say, Andathil ullade pindam, pindathil ullade andam. Andamum pindamum ஒன்றே அறிந்து தான் பார்க்கும் போது. What's in the cosmos is in us. What is in us is in the cosmos. And when we go deep in and realize, we will have the realization that all is one. So the five-pronged approach of a yogic lifestyle. How do you live your day in tune with nature? What type of thoughts do you have in tune with health and wellness? What type of recreation do you choose? What type of food do you choose? And what type of relationships do you choose? Are they relationships that are of a satsanga nature, helping you come together in community, building a positive peer pressure towards a higher nature? Or are they of the kusanga variety, which pull you down into the swamp where illness, disease, and unhappiness and suffering lie? The choice is ours. Because the superpower of being human is the power of choice. This power of choice which we need to use every moment of our life. What do I choose in this present moment? What type of relationship do I choose to manifest? What type of food do I take? What type of thoughts do I have? What type of recreation and what type of activities do I choose every moment of my life? That choice, free will create the destiny which could be a healthy destiny or an unhealthy destiny. This is why the principles of yoga as given by Maharishi Patanjali, the Ashtanga Yoga, they have the Yama Niyama. The Yama Niyama, the principles by which we can say no to the lower tendencies, the subhuman tendencies, which are called the Vitarkas, the deviants. We are saying no to them by adopting the Yama, the Pancha Yama, Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, Yamaha. And then we develop the humane qualities, the positive qualities, by adopting the Niyamas, saying yes to the higher evolutionary nature, by adopting Saucha, Santosha, Tapaswadhyaya, Ishvara, Pranidhana. So saying no to the lower, saying yes to the higher, Yama, Niyama. And what do these help us? They help us develop the social domain of health. The World Health Organization talks of 4 domains for health. Health as having social domain. It has a physical domain. It has a mental domain. And nowadays they also add the spiritual domain. So it is not just a state where you have absence of disease or deformity, but it is a positive dynamic state of wellness, well-being at the physical, mental, social and spiritual level. So Yama Niyama as given by Maharishi Patanjali, those 2 components of the Yama Niyama, they are enabling the social dimension of health to flourish in our life. Because when you say no to the lower parts and you say yes to the higher parts, you are going to have a much better social health. Intrapersonal relationship, interpersonal relationship, and transpersonal relationships will all flourish in abundance of wellness. The second part, asana pranayama. The practices that we do, the asanas that we do, where we are seeking stability and a sense of ease through the body, using the soma, the body to affect the mind, the psyche, somato-psychic mechanisms of all the yogasanas, choosing to put the body in certain postures in order to create healthy patterns that are homeostatic, that are creating equilibrium, sama, that balance, samadosha, sama agni of Shushruta, you are creating that sama. And a beautiful sense of balance is coming deep within us through the asana. The pranayama, where we are bringing over cortical, mindful, choice-based control over the old autonomic patterns, By changing the pattern of breathing, you are changing the way you think, you are changing the way you emote, you are changing the way you feel, you are changing the way all the regulatory mechanisms in the body are functioning. So through asana and pranayama, we can say the physical domain of health is being enhanced. Social domain through yama niyama, the physical domain through asana pranayama. We now come to the mental domain of health. And what better practices than pratyahara and dharana? Pratyahara, where we are withdrawing ourselves from the sensory engagements. Our senses are normally going out. They're trying to catch something. They want something, grab something. Your eyes want to grab something to see. Your ears want to grab something to hear. Your tongue wants to grab something to taste. Your nose wants to grab something to smell. Your skin wants to grab something to feel. You are constantly grabbing by going out. Sensory engagement. And what are you doing? You are choosing disengagement. You are disengaging yourself from the sensory apparatus. So the sensations are doing the job. They are going out and engaging. But your mind has been withdrawn. And you are choosing an introspectional journey rather than an extroverted. It is an introverted journey that is going in, and that internal journey into yourself, so that you are no longer thrown off balance by the senses. The senses are bringing their information, but you are in a place of ease, peace, and equilibrium and harmony, and hence they cannot throw you off balance. You are in a state of steady balance. No wonder mental health, the mental domain will come with the pratyahara practices. And then the mind that is all scattered, we are bringing together. The all scattered mind, the sarvartha mind, is becoming ekagratayo, one pointed. Now you know the light when it is scattered can only help you see things. But that's all it can do. But when you focus that light, it becomes a laser beam with which you can do immense amount of life-saving techniques. You can bring about transformation by a focused light. Similarly, a mind that is scattered cannot do much. But when you focus the mind from sarvartha ekagratayo, a mind that is muda, kshipta and vikshipta is brought into ekagrata and taken into the state of nirodha through dharana. One pointed concentration, binding the cognitive process to one place at one time. Again, the power of choice. And through pratyahara and dharana, we are working on the mental domain of health. And then, of course, dhyana and samadhi. When we go into that meditative state of oneness and we go deeper into that state of absorption, we start to connect with our real self. Uddharet Atma Atmanam, says the Bhagavad Gita. Lifting the self by the self. We are moving from what Abraham Maslow calls self-actualization to self-realization. We are going in and we are connecting with who we truly are. As Maharishi Patanjali tells us, as long as the chitta vrittis, the fluctuations of the mind stuff are there, we will identify with the vrittis. Vrittis arupyam vitaratva. But then when chitta vritti nirodha occurs, when you can seize all these fluctuations, the whirlpools of the subconscious, unconscious mind, that mind stuff, you start to be established in your own self. Swarupe avasthanam. At that point, you're established in who you truly are. In that state of dhyana, you move from being somebody into someone who is a nobody. You have let go on of all of these extraneous, artificial attachments. All this identification based on nothing, avidya. And you are coming into a true state of knowing yourself. Man, know thyself, say the great scriptures of other cultures. We start to know ourselves. We realize who we are. We lose the lower self and we start to gain the higher self. That is the process where the spiritual domain of health starts to flourish. So the physical domain of health, the social domain, the mental domain, the spiritual domain, all these four domains of health are starting to flourish. Wellness becomes your nature at every moment in your life as we work through the process of Ashtanga Yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhaya, Ashtau Angani. What beautiful teachings have been given to us thousands of years ago by these great rishis. That we have a power of choice, the superpower of being human. We can choose what we are going to do, what we are going to be. And through the process of adopting Yama Niyama, social health flourishes. Asana Pranayama, physical health flourishes. Through Pratyahara Dharana, mental health flourishes. And through Dhyana Samadhi, spiritual health flourishes. And we move from a state of dukkha, from vyadhi, we are moving into a state of sukha, into a state of arogya, of swast itself. This is the pathway of yoga. And the pathway of yoga gives us the 5 principles that we have seen today. Ahar, Vihar, Achar, Vichar and Vyavahar. The 5 principles of yogic living in tune with nature. And then the Ashtanga, the limbs, the 8 limbs of Maharishi Patanjali, to enable us to work on all domains of health. Because when we are healthy, we are the best version of ourselves. And that is what we owe ourselves. As a human being, we have been gifted this human incarnation. It is said 8.4 million incarnations we have to go through in the process of evolution. And the human incarnation is a result of so much of punya, so much of meritorious deeds over so many incarnations, and now we have a choice to be human, to live as a human being. When we have that choice, why should we choose not to be that? Because when we choose to be human, we make choices that humans will make. We do things that humans will do. And as we grow, we realize the more we care and share with fellow human beings, the more we grow in spirit. This is my prayer for each and every one of us. May we grow together in spirit, and may we overcome all the divisiveness, all the dichotomies that cause friction, and may we flower into that abundance of wellness, wholesomeness of spirit, and may we all realize that indeed we are one. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahi Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Wishing you all a wonderful journey in this 100 days towards the International Day of Yoga 2022. This opportunity of Yoga for Unity is an opportunity for us to truly become one. May you be blessed. May you be a blessing wherever you are. Hari Om Tat Sat.